I love coming to any rainforest in the world, and one of my favourite is Lamington National Park in Queensland. And the reason for that is the walks are so spectacular.
So as well as the bird life, you'll have things like waterfalls, you'll have huge trees in the bush. There's something for everyone, and they're all really well laid out trails. It doesn't matter how fit you are, you'll be able to find something to enjoy in the bush.
The boardwalks at Oreillys, the ones I've been on, are wheelchair accessible, and they're really easy to walk on, and you do see bird life if you're quiet. Lots and lots of people use the boardwalks, but there's still the wildlife around. It knows that people won't hurt them, which is fantastic.
Some of the birds in those walks are really spectacular. Rufous fantails, regent bowerbirds, king parrots, all that sort of thing that are found quite high up in the forest canopy, all of a sudden are accessible to a photographer. Oreillys has some fantastic animals, and one of my favourite, is the leaf-tailed gecko.
And we were able to find a couple of really beautiful ones, and they were very comfortable to be photographed with us.
Leaf-tailed geckos are found in every environment in this part of the national park. On a mossy rock, they blend in so well. It's incredible how you can look at the rock, and I do this with photographic customers. They look for their lizard, can't find it, and eventually they'll spot it. We're going to do simple photographs where we're trying to keep the camera parallel to the subject to maximise depth of field. But we're going to do another shot too, which is a signature shot for me that I did over 20 years ago. Have a look at what we do with just a torch, and look what happens when I click. I can light up subjects. In this particular shot though, what I'm going to do is come this way and actually shoot down on the lizard. You might notice there's beautiful vein patterns in the conjavoy here. So what I'm wanting to use is those vein patterns with the gecko and do it in a creative, artistic way. And what I'm going to do is use my flip screen to help me see what I'm photographing. I'm going to shoot this way. I'm preset to aperture priority, f8, 800 ISO, and I know that will allow me to have about a 250th of a second shutter speed. That's fine for handheld work. Here's a particular angle, and I can change my camera angle to suit and make sure I maximise a creative result.
Rainforests can be really challenging subjects to photograph in because they're so busy and there's very little structure. They're complex environments with vines and leaves and tree branches, so often you're looking to try and isolate a particular subject in the rainforest, and it's such a great place to practice here because you're spoilt for choice for walks.
Mushrooms are a great subject to photograph, and for me, I love to get right down with them. I use my flip screen. I'll also use a torch, but I like also from time to time to use a single flash off camera, and that can be quite a powerful tool. And if you look at some of the results from today, you'll see some of the shapes and forms of the mushroom, and we're using the light to our advantage. So we're changing the position of the torch in various ways, maybe even changing our depth of field a little bit. So yes, you come here, there's beautiful landscapes, beautiful treescapes, there's beautiful birds. We found some big lizards today that were really unique as well, but the macro world offers a lot in a rainforest also.
Often it's the little details that make the best shots, I think, in rainforests. The rivers in Lamington have their own unique diversity as well.
One of the fun animals I find in the animal kingdom is crayfish, and I love the Lamington blue spiny crayfish. How's that name, just for a starter?
And that's a great subject to photograph if you can find one. They're not often easy to find, but we were really lucky to find a beautiful female who was quite happy to pose for some photos for us, which was a real treat.
That particular animal, I've found it all sorts of different environments. You can see it in the water, in the creeks, sometimes it's on the water's edge, and occasionally, especially if it's raining a little bit, you'll find them out on the tracks, and they should come out on the tracks to feed on ferns and other vegetation. If you come up to one, they'll hiss at you, raise their claws, be in this very defensive type mode, and of course that's a great photographic opportunity. So I do a couple of different techniques. One is to up my ISO, open my aperture up a little bit and take straight photographs. On other occasions though, you might find that you might need to use a flash, and flash will pop the colours on that crayfish. Beautiful blue, some trim of red. They're a really pretty animal. Keep it simple and you'll get some lovely photographs.
And to see that was a once in a lifetime opportunity to see her in nature and enjoy just shooting her in the environment as well.
We've been offering Creative Week now for nearly 20 years. What I love about the end of the workshop is everyone offers their favourite 10 images of the week. It's amazing the diversity of images that are shown. From backlit subjects, macro, landscape, all sorts of imagery is shown. And what I think is quite amazing is you can have a group of people quite close to each other photographing the same thing with different results.
Photography is something a lot of us probably practice on our own, but you get so much from being with other photographers. And when you combine that with guides who are really passionate about helping you take great photos, and that's a winning combination. And a trip like this where you get to shoot in one of the most beautiful parts of Australia with amazing subjects and diverse subjects every day is such a treat. And you know, I feel very lucky to be able to come to places like this and help people with their photography and take my own photos as well.
If you'd like to expand your creativity, why don't you join us? We're someplace different every year. We have a great time, and I know everyone learns something new, including myself. That's what photography is all about.